Yes, they are so young. And we have Sunday, Adam, Dubu, Baltop, and Ian again. Saw them go down in that last game. Pretty convincingly, too. Kind of a crushing loss. So let's hopefully they adjust their mindset and go into this new game refreshed and ready for a different team, a lesser team for sure. Muhan, they didn't do too well last season. They kind of ended up around the mid sort of tier. They tied for like 3rd and 4th. So they managed to stay in the season, but I mean, if you get 5th and 6th, you actually get eliminated from tier 2. And if you get the top 2, number 1 or number 2, you go to the up and down matches against the bottom 2 of tier 1. So that's what they'll be banking on. That's what they'll be going for. Still got a lot of hard matches ahead of them, but they have to beat Muhan if they ever want a chance at that. And here is Muhan. And look at that handsome devil on the left. That is Karn, my co-caster. As well as that, we have Genie, Pro Doak, Art, and Gamja. Very, very experienced team. They actually represented a career in the ESWC a couple of years back. So they have even some international experience. And there he is there, Karn, getting ready. He is their carry. He's usually in the safe lane. He'll probably be on the Viper if they get to pick him. And yeah, they have been playing very well so far this season. I only played 1 game, I believe. They'll be playing 2 more today to kind of catch up. And they're looking very promising. I'd love to see Muhan do well this season. And while they get ready, setting up their gear still. Got a little bit more downtime before we get into the picks and bans. See if these strategies go down. Looks like as SM Soulmate, Muhan, Pro Doak. So we got a fan from Muhan there. Great to see. Actually, kind of a decent turnout today. It's kind of worried because it is only tier 2 games today, so obviously not as many viewers, not as much of a crowd. But no, they're still great teams and they're still very up and coming. It's kind of the amateur tier, but a lot of them can mix it with the best. And I mean, the scene here in Korea is so small, so everyone kind of knows everyone, and which is also it's a great thing, but it's also makes it hard to kind of come up with new strategies when everyone's playing everyone all the time. Everyone kind of knows each other inside and out, which is why it's so great to have Karn usually next to me talking about these players and teams, because he essentially knows everyone to a point where he can talk about anyone and what they play and why and what teams they've been in the past. And it's great. He's actually been here since the very beginning. He was a StarCraft 2 player before he decided to switch to Dota 2. And before that, before StarCraft 2, he was a Dota 1 player. So he has a lot of experience with both games. And yeah, when Dota 2 actually started picking up in Korea and there actually started to be tournaments, he was the first on the scene. He was there. He was ready to play. And yeah, he knows everything from the ground up. So he's very, very experienced, very weathered in competitive esports. Myself, StarCraft 2 pro gamer. Have a lot of experience with Warcraft 3 as well, but never dabbled with Dota 1. Well, actually, that's a lie. I played a bit of Dota 1, but because I was a Warcraft 3 melee player, I was always like hesitant to do it because of like, Dota's the game that like took away all the Warcraft 3 players. Thinking back, but I actually wish I played a lot more Dota 1 when I had the chance. And it looks like the game is loading up now, so we're going to be starting very, very shortly here. We'll get into the picks and bans and actually see how this game is going to turn out. See if Lotem is actually going to try for a different sort of lineup. They did actually have a pretty weak. Their picks and bans were pretty weak in the last game, I got to say, and they just didn't make it work at all. They got completely shut down in every lane, and from there, every team fight went horribly, and to the point where like Skyrath was pretty much soloing their carry, Marana. So let's see if that happens again. And here we go. Getting into the picks and bans now, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. Team Muhan versus Lotem. Lotem, straight off the bat, getting rid of that Naga. Don't want to deal with that. Definitely not a first ban we see often, but Naga is still very, very strong. And on occasion, we'll see her. And for Team Muhan, getting rid of that Brewmaster, which we saw Lotem pick up last game. I mean, it's such an advantage coming into a day like this, and you see like your opponent that you will be playing play a game first, and you know exactly where their mindset is. And something we were talking about before the break is like Tier 2 in the KDL, they seem to have like trends. Like each team has a trend of strategy that they practice mostly, and they very rarely vary from that. So no surprise that Team Muhan will be playing off that last game. Like, okay, they went for this style. They went Brewmaster. They went Mirana. They went Ogre, which I'm sure they won't ban out because it was kind of a bad pick in my opinion. Witch Doctor didn't get to do much as well. There wasn't much synergy with them. They just couldn't actually find anything. And Centaur, I mean, great offlaner, but yeah, he didn't find anything either. He just got completely shut down by the safe lane Viper. So I'm sure Lotem are going to be thinking about like, well, they actually saw us get completely annihilated with that lineup, so we're going to have to change it up. I mean, banning Naga is the first thing. And getting rid of Brewmaster, definitely trying to shake things up. Obviously, Muhan don't want to deal with that. Death Prophet also banned out from Lotem. So it also kind of looks like Lotem are playing off the last game as well. They're like, well, this is what happened. We got destroyed by Death Prophet. I don't think we're actually ready to combat this yet. Our style is clearly weak against this. Our mid lane just couldn't handle it, and the pushing power behind Death Prophet is too much. Team Muhan getting rid of the Lycan as well. And we see a first pick Razor from Lotem. I love Razor. Definitely a hero we're seeing more and more of. And most likely going to be their mid hero. Can also play safe lane. So, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see exactly what else Lotem are going to be picking up here. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of this hero. And they get the Viper. So, Khan's plan, he was telling me about this. They were going to go for that Viper safe lane if they got it. And Lotem let it slip again. I think maybe banning out that Naga first might have been a problem. Might have been a bad move there. Kind of seems like Lotem, maybe one of their weak suits is actually the picks and ban phase. They seem to kind of get behind from the very get-go. And from there, they're having trouble. And there's Adam. He was playing the carry Mirana last game, and he's not looking too happy. And he's like, great, we let Viper through again. And there's Art. He has played Viper before, but I don't think he'll be playing it today. Has also played the Earthshaker. I'm thinking they might have had like a lineup change, and he might have been the carry once upon a time. But now, considering Khan coming into this team this season, he's always played the carry role for every team, so he's been in. So no surprise he kind of took up that role. And we saw Shadow Shaman pick up as well for Team Muhan, so they're getting a lot of pushing power early on. Obviously, Shadow Shaman, good all throughout the game, actually has so much disable as well as a very powerful nuke. And obviously, Mass Serpent Wards kind of like guarantees an objective after a decent team fight. I mean, every time, if you haven't used your Mass Serpent Wards during a gank, you use it on a tower and you're almost guaranteed to get it down because it's going to be so hard for the other team to kind of attack into that. And we saw Dragon Knight pick up as well for Team Lotem. So also kind of a mid hero here, so I'm thinking we're going to see a Razor safe lane by the looks of things, unless they're going to put Dragon Knight there. Dragon Knight definitely very, very usually the mid laner. But, I mean, these days, we do see a lot of mix-ups in laning. I mean, there's a lot of heroes that have like a lot of utilization that can go into multiple lanes. And it's a great way to play the picks and ban phase early on. You pick the heroes that have the most variance early on, so it doesn't give away any of your lineup until like maybe like the third and fourth, maybe even the fifth sort of pick, because you know exactly what's going to go on here. So you're trying to let those heroes slip through and avoid getting them banned out anytime soon. I mean, Viper and Shadow Shaman, very, very common picks there. Doesn't give too much away. I mean, all it gives away really is they have a lot of pushing power and they have a lot of early game to mid game with the Viper. A very, very tanky mech carrier, and usually wins his lane. Like, it's very hard to beat a Viper in the laning phase, so no surprise there. We also see the Tidehunter and Enchantress banned out for Team Muhan. And we saw the Bristleback and Batrider banned out for Lotem. So they're kind of afraid of the offlaning from Team Muhan by the looks of things. Gonna try and ban out as much as they can. Team Muhan with the next pick. We're going to have to wait and see exactly how they're going to go with this lineup. I think they were looking at jungling as well. Maybe even an Enigma, if they can get it. I don't know if they really want to show it just yet. It is still kind of early. 3rd pick. And I doubt we're going to see Lotem ban it out. Lotem definitely changing up their strategy this game, though. So I'm kind of looking forward. I'm thinking we're going to see a much better Lotem this game as well. Not playing someone who lives with them, essentially. Definitely makes a big difference and make things very uncomfortable or too comfortable. We saw kind of Lotem taking that loss and laughing about it, like, yeah, we expected it. So it's kind of a weird mindset to go into when you're up against a team, or your own team like that. And Team Muhan deliberating a lot. Haven't actually figured out what they want just yet. Taking some time. But they obviously don't want to let too much go too early on here. So they got to be careful what they choose. Viper and Shadow Shaman. Very, very strong picks. Very, very high tier. We see them a lot these days. I actually love the Shadow Shaman. He's oh, okay. So we're going to see a Tinker. Tinker mid. And I like this a lot as well. Tinker does some great work. And he's happy. Looks like this guy might be playing it. Pro DOTA. Definitely their mid player. Played Naga last and Invoker before that, so I'm guessing they're kind of scared of this guy if they're banning out the Naga from the start. Definitely the player they're fearing, but they gave him Tinker, so I don't know. I mean, they got rid of the Naga, they got rid of the Death Prophet, 2 mid heroes. Then they kind of went onto the off-laning, so they let the Tinker slide. And I mean, Razor or DK, I mean, they're not going to do too well against Tinker. Razor should be okay, but still, like, it's not going to be... I mean, Razor obviously does very, very well against melee heroes more than anything else because Static Link's just going to absorb so much and give you so much bullying power early on. But, I mean, with the heroes that Team Muhan has already, with a Viper and Tinker, it's going to be very unlikely for Razor to kind of have too much of a comfortable lane. Unless we see an off-laner that's... I guess we could still see a Centaur. We did see Centaur last game and kind of get picked apart from the Viper. I'm not sure if Lotem was going to want to do that again, considering they see the lanes already, but they choose Centaur again. Okay, so kind of choosing all the carries straight up. It's kind of a different way of doing things. We usually see during the picks and bans, like we definitely see a lot more supports getting picked out early on. Kind of trying to hide their cores until like the end or towards the end, but Lotem very comfortable picking their first 3 as their carries. Razor, Dragon Knight, Centaur. From here, I mean, they're going to need 2 supports to help out things, unless they're going to go for a jungler. Team Muhan sees this, they're like, okay, this is a very tanky lineup for sure, more than anything else actually. I mean, Centaur can get very, very tanky after he's got some farm. Dragon Knight's pretty much tanky from the get-go, and Razor, once he's got that mech online, very, very hard to deal with. But still, I mean, up against the Viper, and here we go. Here's the Enigma that Khan was also telling me about. If they let it go, if they think the situation is good for it, they were going to go for that. And I like it a lot, considering, I mean, you already have a Viper and Shadow Shaman together. They're going to have a very, very strong laning phase for sure, especially if it's going to be against the Centaur. It's going to be easy pickings, no doubt. And Enigma going to be doing that jungling. Could be doing the off-laning. Have to wait and see what their 5th pick is for Muhan. And how is Lotem going to respond to that? I mean, what could they get that would actually do a lot of work? Bane! Okay. Yeah, Bane can definitely do a lot of shutting down, absolutely. He can shut down that Enigma. He has a lot of ability, a lot of shutdowns. I mean, with Nightmare and with Fiend's Grip, you definitely have a lot of ability to kind of shut down any sort of black hole or any hero in general, and definitely follow up with some great ganking. Most likely going to be Dubu. Saw him last game, not have the best game. I believe he was on the Ogre Magi. Yeah. So it looks like a very interesting lineup, very different to last game. So hopefully Lotem going to be showing a better match. but I'm kind of liking Team Muhan's lineup a lot more so far. Still one pick to go, but like, you got a Viper, a Tinker, a Shadow Shaman, and an Enigma. You have great team fighting. You've got great late game. You got a great laning phase and great pushing power. Like, everything's looking really nice for Team Muhan. And they ban out Skywrath for the last hero, so don't want to deal with that. No surprise there. You don't want to. I mean, Skywrath would also do very, very well against Enigma. And, I mean, have great ganking potential against some fairly squishy heroes with Tinker, Enigma, Shadow Shaman. And an Elder Titan as the last pick here for the offlane. Very interesting. This is Karn. He's their carry, playing Mirana in his last game. Going to be most likely playing the Viper this game, though. And we see a Mirana as the last pick. And that's no doubt going to be a support Mirana. Most likely on Ian. Showing a bit of a playful attitude there. And the game is loading, guys. So get ready. We're going to be jumping in very, very shortly. Team Muhan against Lotem. Having a quick look at the teams before we jump in. This is Team Lotem, that's Team Muhan. Khan, looks like he's wearing 3 shirts. And here we go. From the get-go, looks like we're going to see Lotem go for the smoke straight into the dire jungle here. Team Muhan also sticking together though, so we're going to see a very early team fight. Looks like he's going to be led from Bane. He does have Nightmare to initiate things. And Muhan kind of sticking near the tier 2 here. They don't want to get caught out either. Good Enigma, spotting. They spot him out. Oh, it looks like they aren't going to get anything. They're not going to get the jump on them. And they're taking a bit of damage here from the Elder Titan. So shut down early on. Astral Spirit, scouting out everything. Pigs go down, and yeah. Doesn't look like Lotem are going to find anything early on. It's a nice defensive play from Muhan. They had an idea for sure. I mean, we have seen this from Lotem in the past. They did play in the last match here, so I'm sure it's very, very fresh in their minds. The kind of style they're playing. There's Art on the Enigma. Their jungler. Pro Doak on the Tinker. Very, very strong mid laner. Gamja on the Shadow Shaman. Always there, position 5 actually. Also did see some wards go down in that dire jungle to kind of shut down the Enigma early on. There's Khan on the safe lane Viper. It looks like Sunday gonna have another unpleasant laning phase on the Centaur. Let's see if he can do a little bit better against Khan's Viper. It's gonna be difficult there. Ooh, Pro Doak actually taking a huge arrow early on. Very, very nice from Mirana. We do see DK, Baltrop in mid. And here's Mirana as Ian. Looks like it is going to be that defensive tri-lane. Genie getting Nightmare. We're going to see a huge arrow on the Genie early on. And can he actually survive this? I think he might go down for first blood. Getting completely caught out at this point. Dubu with the first blood. Beautiful positioning from Mirana, getting that perfect arrow. It's not a good start for Team Muhan. Lotem's already showing a lot more confidence this game. Adam gonna have a very easy safe lane here on the Razor. Definitely gonna get a essentially free farm at this point. With a start like that, it's gonna be hard to see Elder Titan doing much at all. in mid. Very, very even so far as well. There's Baltrub. It's a pretty sweet set on the DK. And Genie getting caught out here. Looks like he was going to try and stack those Ancients. Not going to happen there. There's Dubu on the Bane. Already doing some great work. Mirana Bane are like a really great support duo. Just like Shadow Demon and Mirana. Do a lot of setups here, a lot of great arrows. So we've got Mirana in position again, maybe to harass that Tinker. Prodoa cannot take a huge arrow, or he could very well go down, and they do not need to lose that mid. At the same time, we have Centaur getting completely zoned out again. Sunby, he must be having a very rough time today. Already getting completely zoned out once again from a Viper. Deja Vu. Ian. Ian and Genie. Ian actually completely shutting down this offlane. Shutting down the Ancient stack completely, which is kind of essential against a Tinker like this. You cannot let the Tinker get such great farming here. But Ian could be caught out here. Only has arrow. Doesn't look like he'll take too much more damage. Malefice stunning a little bit. Only level 1 though, so not too much of a threat there. Yeah. Genie just having a rough time so far. He's got to be very careful. This lane is completely pushed back. Great pulling from the Bane. You see a lot of warding in the Dire jungle as well, so Art not having a good time whatsoever. Pretty much so far. I mean, Tinker's not doing too bad in mid lane. Viper is pretty much getting free farm up top to the point where we actually saw Centaur give up the lane and kind of rotate to mid. So looks like they actually might be trying something here. We do see a smoke on the Centaur. They really want to get this Tinker and shut him down. And Prodoic has seen it. He's got caught out, but they're under a tower at this point. Are they actually going to go for it? Yes, they are, and they're going to get it. Wow, really nice gank there. Completely shutting it down, and Lotem showing different colors here. Shutting down Tinker, shutting down Elder Titan early on. Really great rotation from the Centaur, finding something. And there's absolutely nothing happening for them on the off lane. Belt up. Getting the DD rune here. And I mean, while this is all happening, Karn still keeping it safe in the safe lane, keeping it good, getting free farm. I think it's going to come down to Karn doing a lot of work in this game, considering how it started off here for Team Muhan. Tinker cannot take those kind of ganks early on. And Ian, very, very comfortable in this Mirana. He's been seeing some great arrows so far. Once Tinker has those boots of travel, it will be a lot easier to kind of catch up on farm. Finally, we see an Ancient stack. So Ian, a bit late to the party there. They identify it early on. They definitely want to contest it, but great work from Genie in the offlane. And Art finally getting very comfortable in his jungle. The warding has stopped, and Prodoac dodging another arrow there. Ian definitely looking for it. I mean, if they get another huge arrow like that, it's pretty much essentially an easy kill. Trying to find as much farm as he can, but I mean, it's kind of worrying when a DK is kind of out farming a Tinker. Really great support from Lotem this game. Tinker, yeah, trying to find what he can. And Art's going to have to do some work too. Getting some farm. Already has that soul ring. It's a bit of a passive game early on here after those couple of ganks. Ooh, but invisibility rune. I mean, we could definitely see some potential gank here. Sunby. Level 5 now. Has a bottle once again too. Definitely likes the bottle in the off lane. A bit different. Something we don't see much. I guess it helps him out a little bit, kind of recover from all the damage he's taken, but at the same time, like, Boots of Tranquility would also do a lot of work. And it looks like Muhan are going to be pressing it early. You see rotation top with the Enigma as well, so they're going to be pushing this tier 1, starting that kind of advantage. But oh, Sunby gets caught out, but at the same time, We see 2 TPs in here. Adam with the plasma field. Oh, Sunday trying to find something here, but Khan takes him down. Static link on Karn. He's not going to find any damage. He's going to have to get out of here. And Gamja also in a horrible position. Baltop takes him down. And Karn trying to get out of here. It looks like he won't go down. Oh, he does! Adam with the plasma field clutch at the end. Oh, this is going horribly for Team Muhan. A great rotation top. Great TPs in to save the Centaur. Centaur went down, but I mean, for what cost? Huge gank, and looks like Ian might be in a bit of trouble here. No, looks like Prodoak's going to be in trouble. He's got to get out of here. Oh, but a great TP in from Gamja. And they're going to follow it with the shackle. But I don't know if Prodoak's really in a position to do anything about it. They cannot be losing the Tinker again. I mean, they're already lost so much at this point. And they're pushing top. They've almost got the tier 1 top down as well. Baltop and Adam. So hard to take down, so tanky early on. So even though you got a Viper, oh! Almost got to deny there. Baltop gets the last hit. Karn taking more damage. Looks like he's halfway to his mechanism. Oh, almost actually at his mechanism now. Got that buckler as well. Looks like Art has rotated to mid. Try and find some more farm. Definitely want to get that blink dagger on the Enigma. So those black holes are just so much better. Sunby almost level 6 as well, so initiation with Stampede is going to be another factor that Team Muhan are going to have to deal with. And we rotated back. Back to our lanes here. Genie still on bottom, still trying to find something, only level 4. He's been pretty much shut out completely and has not found anything. We have Ian in position to actually go for another arrow, but Genie's going to get out of here. Gonna go back home, looks like heal up. Khan, not the best position here now that the tier 1 is gone. It's gonna make it even harder, and looks like they're gonna be pushing the tier 1 mid. So they're gonna continue this this pressure. I mean, why not? They're kind of doing what MVP always do at these stages of the game. Once they get a lead, once they start getting those towers down, they're gonna go for this this constant snowballing effect. But does it look like Muhan are going to let this happen? I mean, they do have a Tinker. Tinker great at shutting down pushes. March of Machines does so much work. But at the same time, Lotem going deep on the tier 1 bottom. Hasn't found much damage on it yet, but trying to kill that Eldar. Haven't found it just yet there. And looks like we had Art rotate down bottom as well, helping him out. Titan just not finding any work, and we only have a level 2 Marana so far. It's been so busy, like in position, like finding kills. We also have mechanism for the Razor, so Viper and Razor both have their mechs online now. Both safe laners doing very, very well for their teams. Karn actually ahead in the last hits, 64. But I mean, the next two, Razor and a Dragon Knight, not far behind. Tinker kind of resorted to jungling at this point. Has not done well in this lane whatsoever after that first gank. A lot of rotating from Team Muhan. They're kind of in a really awkward position here, seeing they lost the top lane kind of badly after that kind of counter gank with the TPs. Just they completely lost everything there. Lost all their footing, losing that tier 1. And it looks like they're going to try and make up for it in mid. We do have the Shadow Shaman almost level 6 as well. Once he's level 6, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of start pushing towers with Mass Serpent Wards, but they still got to get there. Looks like Gamja is in mid, kind of absorbing a lot of experience. And eventually, they'll probably start pushing once they find like a decent gank. If they can shut down maybe Sunby top, or, I mean, Dragon Knight mid as well. If they find like one opening, they can definitely make things work. And we're seeing more and more stacking on the Ancients as well. She's definitely going to help out this Tinker. Tinker already there. So some pings go down on the Eidolons. And Perdoak finally marching the machines in those Ancients. And looks like they are. Looks like Team Lotem gearing up to start pushing this tier 1 bottom. You see the Elder Titan doing a little bit of harassment there with Astral Spirit, but it's gonna be, they're gonna need more than that essentially. Sort of a straight arrow, try and find someone. Not gonna find anything, and I mean this tower's gonna go down unless we see some action from Team Muhan. We see a TP in, but it's just too late. The tower goes down. At the same time, Gamja taking the tier 1 mid, trading with the Mass Serpent Wards. Blink Dagger finally online for the Centaur, and Boots of Travel for the Tinker. So Tinker finally coming online a bit here, finding enough farm, especially from those Ancients. Almost cleared them all out. Nice snacking there, and oh, looks like Dubu has been caught out. We're going to actually see a black hole commitment to Dubu. So they definitely want that kill. Securing that for sure. At the same time, Genie actually picking up that kill here, and Midas on the Enigma as well. So, you know, they're finding a couple of kills here. 4 for 3 now. Middle tier 1. 4 Team Muhan has gone down as well. So they're in a kind of a very awkward position here. And it looks like we're going to see Lotem kind of posture up. Looks like we're going to see a blink in. And Centaur cleaning things up with Double Edge as well as Static Link. I mean, there's so much damage here with the Dragon Knight as well. There's simply nothing Khan can do. And from here, they can definitely keep pushing. Completely caught out there. Really nice gank. I mean, there's not much you can do when there's 3 heroes. 2 of them have great stuns. Hoof Stomp, Double Edge, Dragon Tail, I mean, and a Razor there with Plasma Field. There's so much damage going in. Even a... I guess you can last hit that way. Even a Viper's not going to be able to do much at that point. I'm seeing a lot of farm on that Dragon Knight as well, picking up a Blink Dagger. So Lotem in a very, very comfortable position here. They're definitely winning in towers. They're up 2 towers at this point, and they're looking for a 3rd. See Adam kind of doing some wrestling. We see a blink in as well as Hoof Stomp Double Edge, followed by a Breath of Fire, just completely shut down. Another really easy kill, especially on an Enigma there. And I mean, Black Hole was on cooldown, but it's still great to get rid of him. Midnight Pulse also does a little bit of harassment, kind of slows down pushing as well. And we see another blink in. Prodoa could actually get caught out at this point. We cannot see him go down as well, and he does. But we might see a counter gank on Adam here. We have Karn right-clicking him down as well as Shackle on the Baltrop. But at the same time, we see a blink in. Hoof Stomp. Gamja almost going down. Oh, Gamja takes the last hit with Ether Shock. Oh, but it's getting messy here. Dubu really, really caught out as well. He goes down. Malf is slowing him down as well. Karn getting the last hit. So a very, very messy trade there. Muhan, I believe, coming out ahead. 3 to 1. Gamja almost going down. So very nice trade there. Muhan finding some footing finally. Still, you can see the net worth. Razor and Dragon Knight still ahead. In net worth, we have Viper and Tinker behind. Tinker needs to catch up. This is kind of very unusual for Tinker. I mean, Tinker got shut down so hard. He's like desperately trying to catch up in net worth. In that farming, he needs to come online. If he can hold on, if he can like go to the late game, I mean, Tinker, very, very good at slowing down the game, slowing down any sort of pushing, bringing it to that late game, as well as pushing every lane with Boots of Travel. So, I mean, Muhan's still very, very much in this. We see a smoke rotation up mid into the jungle here. So they're looking for something, but at the same time, Muhan are kind of in position, but Gamja, maybe not. We see Nightmare, Plasma Field, a lot of damage going down, right clicks, finishing him off. Yes, Dubu takes the last hit. At the same time, Elder Titan trying to defensively stun them. Adam, kind of in the middle of things here. Khan, right clicking him down. I don't think there's any way Adam's going to get out of here. We did see a very, very momentary black hole, but down goes the Enigma, as well as the Elder Titan. Khan also caught out here. I don't think he's going to get out either. They're just getting completely destroyed. And that was 4 for 1. The Razor finally goes down, but I mean, a horrible team fight for Muhan. Lotem turning things around again. While this is all happening, I mean, they are giving space for the Tinker, but I don't think it's worth it if everyone's dying for it. Tinker needs to be in these fights as well. They need to be seeing TP's ins. We need to be seeing something. I mean, it's so important he gets farm, but at the same time, like, they're just giving him so many more options to push more towers. We cannot see another tower go down for Muhan. The lead is just getting ridiculous for Lotem. They're snowballing so much. And I mean, we're not seeing any sort of rotation from Tinker. Oh, Arrow just misses here. Looks like they might pull back, but that tower has taken some critical damage already. Tinker slowly catching up in net worth there. Finding some farm. Does have those boots of travel. Slowly getting enough here. I'm sure we're going to see a blink dagger next from him. Almost there as well. Only 200 off. Sunday finding a lot more farm than last game, that's for sure. I mean, everywhere else, he like completely lost his lane. No surprise. There's no way you're going to beat a Viper in the solo off lane. But I mean, every other lane just went so well for Lotem. And actually, that's some hefty. Like this Centaur is actually getting very, very tanky. Hooded Defiance gonna help out a lot as well. Fair amount of magic damage on Team Muhan. And it looks like we're gonna see BKB on the DK. Almost at that, actually, very, very close. Seeing some scouting out with the Elder Titan. Stray arrow misses. And everyone else kind of in position to kind of counter gank, kind of defend this tower here. Finally, Tinker is in position to kind of shut this down. We also see bottom lane getting pushed as well. Khan is there. He's on his way to his Aghanims. Gonna be pretty late at this point there. Sunday and Adam. We could definitely see initiation with Blink. And here it is, Blink, Plasma Field. Oh, double edge, followed by Static Link. But they did see the Enigma behind, so they're gonna disengage here. Oh, but no way Zombie's going to get in. Not with Dust here. And he gets right-click down. So very, very nicely done. Viper Strike keeping him very, very slow. Moonlight Shadow just not doing enough work. But at the same time, they're trying. They're trying so very hard to get this tier 2 top. At what cost? They cannot let Khan get that hit in. And looks like Beltrop going to disengage once again. Gemma True Stride on the Bane now as well. And BKB finished for the DK. So he's even more tanky at this point. So we saw TPN kind of dealing with these Mass Serpent Wards. Looks like they're going to follow up here. They're going to go into Art. Can Art get out in time? He's trying to TP out. Dragon Tail's going to shut this down. It does. And from here, I don't know what they're going to do. They're just going to get completely right-click down. And very, very nicely done. At the same time, we have Pro Doak doing some harassments with March of the Machines. Oh, wow. Bane so close to going down at this point. Cannot TP out for 35 more seconds. He is in the middle of nowhere. He has got to look out. And Gamja sees him. And he's like, oh, we got a free kill here. Takes him down with Ether Shock. Very, very easy kill. And they spent Mass Serpent Wards. They did not get the tower down. So, another loss for Muhan. Still got a lot of catching up to do, especially in towers. So much gold. And we do have that Blink Dagger on Pro Doak as well. So this Tinker kind of coming online now. Finding more and more farm here. And we do see the rotation bottom once again. Sunday is back, as well as Baltrop. And they're going to try and push this tier 2. Try and push up these lanes as much as they can. We do see the Elder Titan, Astral Spirit, doing a little bit of damage here. Scouting out what's there. And we see more of a rotation bottom. So looks like they want to press the issue here. Adam and Ian also joining. 4-man bot. While we have the Bane go top. A bit more scouting going on from the Elder Titan. They see what's going on here. Master Machine's going to really help this progress. Both teams kind of posturing around the tier 2 bottom. Got to be so careful. They don't want to take too much damage. March of the Machines does so much damage at level 4. I mean, especially early on. Only 20 minutes in. I mean, could go for a lot longer. The way it's kind of slowing down, the way the Tinker is slowing down, they can really draw out the games. And I'm sure at this point it's Team Muhan's plan. But we see a great blink in. Hoof Stomp, double edge, followed up by Plasma Field. Dragon Tail shuts him down. Gamja drops the Mass Serpent Wards, doing a lot of damage to Adam. Adam's got to get out of there, but he's going to get right-click down from Karn very, very easily. Baltop in the middle of nowhere, caught between a Viper and Mass Serpent Wards. I'm not sure how he's going to get out. Looks like he's going to be TPing out. Oh, yeah, just in time. Very, very nicely done. Ian and Dubu also get out. So nice kind of victory there for Muhan, losing Enigma and Shadow Shaman for Razor Centaur. I think that is most definitely worth it. I mean, they had to use Mass Serpent Wards, something they would rather much use in an objective rather than a team fight, but I guess if it secures the fight, then it's all worth it, right? Oh, we see a Nightmare and a Genie. Are we going to see a follow-up here? Dude, we got to be very careful. Khan in position as well. So he's going to back off, and there was absolutely no one else there. So Dubu kind of just going for a bit of harassment. And Aghanim's on the Razor now. Aghanim's so much more pushing power once on the Razor. His ulti obviously going to be targeting down buildings very, very quickly. So even more pushing power to Team Lotem, as if they didn't have enough already. So it's going to be even harder for Muhan to find enough defense here. Going to have to be really on point. That Tinker is going to have to be in position. Going to have to spamming those Martian machines to slow this down while he gets farm. He hasn't caught up that much. He's still in 4th position in the net worth, behind the Razor, Viper, and DK. See more rotating. I mean, Lotem in a very, very comfortable position at this point. Pretty much farming the dire jungle. There's so much map control, such a contain onto Muhan. They're very, very struggling here. And they're going to be very careful because this Centaur is looking for another Blink Hoof Stomp. Oh, straight arrow also goes past Karn. Cannot get caught out here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure the Viper is the last they want to initiate on. He's kind of the bait at this point. Very, very tanky here. Does have mech. I mean, almost halfway to his Aghanims as well. It's going to help out a lot in these team fights or in ganking in general. Giving Viper Strike so much more, and they're looking for something. They're starting to push the issue here, pushing the tower. Baltop doing a little bit of damage. At the same time, they're pushing up bottom as well. And this is the real problem. This is Adam. Adam with the Aghanims on the Razor. He's going to be doing a lot here. Oh, but mid, have they overstepped too far? They might have. Baltop taking a bit of damage here. But Razor has been left alone down bottom, and we do see a rotation bot as well. At the same time, Lotem will be pushing mid. Baltop trying to find what he can. Razor kind of disengages for now. Oh, Genie caught out from Nightmare. Hoof Stomp, double edge into Stampede. And oh, can they get him down? One more right click. Yes, they do get him down. And Gamja caught out as well. Right click down. Karn should be able to finish the job here, especially with Mass Serpent Wards. And a nice kill there. But I mean, they lost 3 for that. Enigma, Shaman, as well as Elder Titan, which I think was on bottom. Karn finding the 1 kill at least on the Dragon Knight, but I mean, that is not worth it. And they had to use Mass Serpent Wards again, so they're not using it the way they want to. They're constantly on the defensive here. And I mean, while this was all happening, Tinker has not been seen. He's just been in the jungle, essentially farming this point. We did see some Martial Machine spam bottom, I believe it was, but it was just not enough. We needed him in the fight, I think, more than anything else. He has just not had much of a presence when it comes to these gankings. I mean, heat-seeking missiles and lasers are going to do a lot of work at this point. But Tinker still just trying to catch up and farm after losing that mid lane. So they're going to be starting to push up this top lane as well. Only 2 tier 2 left for Team Muhan. Finally see Tinker doing a little bit of harassment onto Adam. Adam going to be very careful at this point. He's out there alone here, and we could definitely see an engagement onto him. You see 3 in position as it is. Muhan in a very, very defensive position. Adam obviously doing that split pushing, has a lot of potential to kill those towers with his Aghanim's ulti. So, I mean, even though Lotem aren't pushing the issue too much, they have complete map control while this is all happening. Muhan is playing so defensive at this point. All they're trying to do is stop these split pushings from happening. And we do see that top lane getting pushed in very, very far at this point from the Centaur as well as Bane. And bottom is still getting pushed up as well from the Razor. And I mean, we have Dragon Knight in mid. They're so split up, but they're not afraid because the ganking is just not there. We saw a Viper Strike on Adam, but just not enough happening. Pings go down on mid. Tier 2 is actually going to go down at this point. I don't think we're actually going to see a rotation in time. Baltop going to be taking that last hit by the looks of things. Oh, no. But doesn't matter. Gets out. So a nice take there. Same time, Razor was kind of pushing in, but Tinker is there to kind of ward things off. And we still have Lotem in top lane, still pushing that lane up as well. So Muhan kind of getting choked out at this point. They don't have as much farm as they wish they had. They don't have much map control either. Even the warding at this point is looking pretty barren. We see one ward in the dire jungle, but besides that, like, they do not have much map control at all. They're really just guessing where these guys are, where they're rotating to, and I mean, every lane is getting pushed up. Sunday. Oh, caught out by Malphus here. Viper Strike, he's in a bit of trouble. Doesn't have Stampede for a while longer. Getting right click down. Looks like he's going to go down for free at this point. ProDoak taking the last two with Dagon. So a nice little gank there, giving him some opening at this point. But I mean, at the same time, because the lanes are already pushed up, I think we're going to be seeing Muhan forced to go back to the defensive side again. They're pushing up as much as they can. Looks like they want to take a tier 1 bottom. They got to find an objective at this point. I'm sure we're going to see Mass Serpent Wards go down as well, while ProDoak pretty much shuts down the pushing. So very, very nice. Finally finding an objective done. And from here, it looks like we're going to see a smoke rotation as well. So Muhan finding some momentum finally. Looks like Enigma's going to be staying bottom, pushing that tier 2 at the same time. We still have Bane Mirana up top, trying to push the lane up to the tier 3. And mid lane has already been completely pushed up at this point. So ProDoak doing a lot of work though. I mean, we have the Tinker finally getting a kill, getting Dagon. So he's getting some momentum here as well, getting some farm in finally. Looking at those kills as well. Dragon Knight and Viper doing very, very well this game. No surprise there. Khan finally has that Aghanims, as well as the Gem of True Sight. Very, very important against that Mirana. Obviously, the tankiest hero on the team going to be the one carrying it. And we did see Razor very, very briefly there. Has that ultimate orb. Have to wait and see what he's going to go for. Is it going to be a Scythe of Ice and Lincoln's or what? Kind of looking at the lineup, I would think. Hard to say. I would like to see a refresher, if anything. But they're not pushing too much. I mean, it has slowed down a great deal. So maybe they're going for more of a late game build here. Obviously, not being able to find too much pressure. I mean, with the Tinker there, it's going to be so hard to be pushing these towers. Now that there's not that many left either. Oh, Sunday getting way too close here. Taking a bit of damage, but not too afraid. Has Rune of Haste. And another tower has gone down as well. Sunday taking that bottom tier 2. So, I mean, they're all tier 2s at this point are gone. Only the tier 3 remain and the main base. So, I mean, they're going to be so careful at this point. Oh, we see a Stampede. So they're trying to be very, very careful. Defensive Stampede. They don't want to get caught out, but Muhan on the complete defensive. Every lane is pushed up at this point. They're just getting choked out more and more. The contain is getting tighter. They got to find something. They got to find an opening. We did see Viper Strike on the Sunday, a bit of harassment. Adam pushing up the lane as well. They're kind of sticking together as 5 more and more now. Looking for that team fight, and I mean, Muhan is definitely looking for that team fight. They got to find something. They got to find a team fight, push these lanes out, and start taking towers down. Because they are down 4 towers at this point. That is so much gold. Sunday finding a lot of farm. See Ghost Scepter for the Tinker, so even more nuke potential here. Getting more and more lethal here. But I mean, is it too little too late at this point? He's going for that late game. He's knowing what he can. Looking at that net worth, we have DK and Razor up top, followed by Viper and Tinker. Not too far behind, not as far as we'd kind of expect considering how the situation has been. Blade Mail on the center now. Going to help out a lot with that tankiness and those initiations. Always the one kind of initiating with the Blink Hoof Stop. In the thick of things, obviously going to do a lot of work. We see kind of the lane controls here percentage-wise. Lotem 81, 62, 73. They're in pretty much complete control. No surprise, those numbers. Doing very, very well. Martial Machine slowing down everything they can. And I mean, it just seems like Muhan are just looking for that opportunity. They have to find that opportunity. They got to find some ganks. They got to kill some. I think like if they can shut down maybe the Razor, like it all slows down. Like if they find the Razor and start pushing out again, start taking some tier 1s and tier 2s, maybe they can just come back into this like that. They aren't too far behind in kills. It's just the towers that are really adding up, as well as all the free farming Lotem have. When you have like your enemy jungle like and you're free farming that, it's you know there's something wrong. There's a big problem in this game. And they're finding what they can. Tinker, no doubt, getting as much farm as they possibly can give him. Still only on a level 1 Dagon as well, so definitely has enough for another one if he wants to go for it. Might not be going for it straight away though. It looks like they are going to try for Sunday once again. Defensive Stampede once again as well, so he gets out nice and safe. Malphite stunning him up, but there's no real follow-up inside. Very, very hard. I mean, even with an Aghanim's Viper, finding the positioning is going to be very hard for these initiations, especially because Blink Dagger is online as well for a number of these heroes on Lotem. You even see Boots of Travel for the Viper now. Bit more mobility, especially when defending all this split pushing. Every lane essentially pushed up to Team Muhan's base. And we do see a Scythe of Ice on the Razor. Okay. Wouldn't have been surprised if we did see a refresher, but I mean, when you're not pushing as much, like the pushing is slowed down immensely to the point where it's a standstill at this point. They're just waiting for an opportunity to go to the high ground. Maybe if they can find a team fight, get Roshan, and from there, they can take that high ground fight, but yeah, no surprise they're going for more disables. And oh, we finally see a Viper Strike on the Dubu. Dubu getting caught out here. What's he going to do? He's Nightmares, but we see T-Pings as well, and Prodoak finishes off the job. And they give up a Gem of True Sight as well. So very, very nice. Finally, Muhan finding something, finding some ground finally. It took so long. One gank is a great start. Only it was a Bane though. The real threat is Adam on the Razor, as well as that Dragon Knight. Even the Centaur, I mean, also has great initiation with Stampede, and if they take him off the map for at least a little while, it would help out a lot and give them a lot of space. And you see mid lane getting pushed out, finally. At the same time, Adam has been caught out as well. Oh, and they get the stun on him. He might be in trouble here. Gumshar's there to follow up with Shackle. He gets it, as well as a Viper Strike from Khan. It looks like Adam going to go down very, very nicely here. And they're going to go straight for Roshan from this. They know they need to take objectives now. They have to at this point, and it's been pinged out already. But how are they going to take this fight with Razor gone? Oh, Art taking a huge hit here. Hoof Stomp, as well as Double Edge finishing the job, so no Black Hole for this fight. But this gives Khan an opening. The Viper Strike, right-click him down. Baltop TP's in, blinks in, but gets surrounded by Mass Serpent Wards. Nightmare on Khan keeps stopping him from the right-click, which is very important at this point. Baltop actually going toe-to-toe with Khan. Big mistake, especially when Martial Machines is there. Getting DPS down as well, so they've lost their 3 cores at this point. It definitely gives them an opening for Roshan once they've decided to push up these lanes. So a nice bait with Roshan there. Definitely forcing out a lot. Oh, a big arrow onto Khan as well. Not going to do much though. No follow-up whatsoever. We see Sender down for 30. 50 left for DK. 10 left for the Razor. So they have some room here. They can push up these lanes if they want to. They can try for an objective, but I mean, looks like they are just going to settle for pushing up every lane, finding that farming, retaking their jungle finally. From there, like, they're in a better position for sure. Especially warding up that Roshan as well. I mean, they have a lot more vision on the map now. This is definitely the opening they needed. We have 4.9k on the Viper and 3.2 on Prodoak on the Tinker. So they're finding farm. They have a lot of farm. So they're not out of this game whatsoever. I mean, and there we see the Ethereal Blade. finally, for the Tinker. Oh, Sunday really caught out of position, but gets away. Avoiding that Viper Strike just, so very nicely done there. Khan got to be careful though, does not want to get initiated on. Isn't in the best of health. It looks like Team Wuhan are going to be staying as 5 now. Kind of taking these team fights. They can take very, very good team fights. Obviously, they want to be taking those fights if they can pick someone off at this point. But I mean, the Tinker has definitely got a lot of devastating power now. I mean, with that Ethereal Blade, as well as the Dagon. Dagon's still level 1 there, but I mean, can definitely go for the upgrades now. Now that the Ethereal Blade is online. A lot of burst potential there. And I mean, if they get down like the DK or the Razor again, they're going to find Roshan, they're going to find a tier 2. There's a lot of promise there for Team Wuhan. They know what they have to do, and we saw them there, how quickly they acted once they took down the Razor. They went straight for Roshan. We see Protoac pushing up the lane as well. Looks like Khan is going to go for that Roshan, but we see pings in already from the Razor. An arrow goes in, they scout it out. Khan sees the arrow, backs off. Trying to sneak a Roshan in if he can, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Everyone posturing around it now. Tinker is bottom. Finding some farm. March of the Machines, as expected. Double damage on the Dragon Knight. And Wuhan are playing a very careful game at this point. They got very, very behind at the start here, so it's no surprise. Some dewarding as well. Khan getting caught out, spotted out. He has a lot of money. I'm just waiting for him to spend it on. Looks like it's going to be a harder Tarask, making him so tanky. I really like this, really like this choice actually. Giving him more tank ability. He does a lot the longer the team fights go. I mean, once you have Aghanims on Viper Strike, the cooldown is so low. You can do it multiple times the longer you survive, so no surprise at all. We see another defensive Stampede here. Looks like he's going to get out. Waste that Stampede there. Blink Dagger on the Shadow Shaman as well as Razor. So everyone picking them up. There is a lot of elusiveness in this game. I mean, we do see Centaur barely surviving with Stampede and Blink time and time again. So no surprise whatsoever we see that Shadow Shaman finally get one. Back to the laning phase here. Back to pushing the lanes up. Karn defending bottom. Got to be careful though. We do actually have Bane as well as Razor in position to look for something here. If we had Bane, maybe like have a Blink Dagger or something at this point, we definitely could see some great ganks with like Blink Nightmare. Sunday trying his best. Has defended that tier 1 top very valiantly. I mean, still up at this point of the game. 40 minutes in. Viper Strike. Dodged by Ian. Heat-seeking missiles. As well as March of the Machines keeping this lane clear. Adam in position to look for something there. Definitely has that Blink as well as Hex. Initiation there. I wonder if they do have enough DPS to just destroy the Tinker there. It'd be very, very hard. Sunby, very, very comfortable actually doing this. And I mean, they're in position to kind of blink on him if they want to. But Shadow Shot with Gamja, not going to look for it. So they're going to wait. They don't know exactly where everyone else is, so it could be a bait. Marauder has actually found some surprising amount of farm here. Actually turned into a semi-carry at this point. The longer this game goes, she's like pretty much been free farming top while they had the map contained. To the point where she's actually going to be doing some serious right-click damage. Oh no! A huge arrow into Khan here, but no follow-up whatsoever. So Khan gets out very, very luckily. No one in position to do it. And Marana, Diffusal Blade, Maelstrom already, as well as Phase Boost. She's doing a lot of right-click. See an arrow go in, hits Roshan there, helping out Khan. Khan in there by himself. We see Moonlight Shadow activated. No one can see them on the map. They're going to be very, very careful. Looks like they are going to initiate onto the Enigma. At the same time, we saw Gamja teleport, blink out, and Enigma goes down for free at this point. Looks like Khan doing some damage from below, getting stunned up from Roshan as well. He does have Mass Serpent, wants to help him out, but he's going to get out of there. We see Genie come in as well. Protoak is there as well. And then we see the black hole on 3. And this is going to be a team wipe at this point. So much damage coming in. Gamja blinks in, gets shut down. Adam gets right-click down. Baltop, can he actually get out of here? We have Khan in position. He can do that Viper Strike if he had enough mana. He's going to right-click instead. Oh, but the blink just in time. Oh, Khan eating an arrow as well from Ian. Oh, it looks like. Oh, Protoak with the blink. Dagon completely shutting down the Bane. So it's actually going to give him space to take down this Roshan finally. What a team fight. Especially losing that Enigma, but the buyback and getting that beautiful black hole of 3. Aegis is online for Khan. Finding some great farm here, finally opening up the map 20 to 23 here. Being quite the fight here. We see Assange on the Elder Titan as well now. And I mean, Dragon Knight, haven't had too much of a look at him, but he's got he's got the Assault Cuirass as well as Mjolnir at this point. He's been finding some great farm here, and as you can see, yeah, he is looking like a threat. Such a tanky hero at this point. What was that, 28 armor or something? Yeah, he's going to be very, very hard to take down at any point now. Now it looks like we actually see initiation here. Stampede blink in, but Gamja gets out of there just in time. So they are going to try and follow up here, but are they going to find anyone? Getting dewatered here by Khan. Khan looking for someone. We don't see a blink dagger on the Bane just yet. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a BKB first. We did see that Ogre Club already. But he has not been finding much farm whatsoever. And we did see Khan already has 4.2k already, so he's still got so much money. Almost getting the Viper Strike there. See a blink in. Malphus. Oh, who are they going to look for? Looks like they're going to find Duboob. Oh, but the beautiful arrow there. But Viper Strike was enough to slow him down. And from here we see TB's in. Baltop from behind. Looks like that Muhan are caught out, complete out of position here. And we see Static Link on the Khan. He's not going to be doing any damage. And he's just getting right-click down at this point. There's nothing he can do. Everyone is surrounded. We see Mass Cyber wants to go down, but it's just not doing enough damage at this point. Especially to the DK, which is way too tanky. So he can't trying to get out of here. Ooh, looks like we were going to see a Hoof Stomp blink. And they might actually get a tier 1 for it, despite that brutal engagement there. DK is so tanky. Sorry, that is a lot of armor. 39. Very, very hard to right-click down at this point. We're seeing a lot of farm on Razor as well. Got that Blink Dagger, got Scythe of Bias, Dagonins, Mac. Oh, Zombie gets out. Definitely one way to get out against the Viper. To get Viper Strike, try and TP. Harder to Rask onto Khan as well. 5.2k now, so he's been saving a lot of money. I think he must be saving for those buybacks, no doubt. If they take a bad team fight, a team wipe it, I mean, at this point, Adam's going to come in with either Storm and just shut down these tier 3 towers, maybe even Rax at this point. The later the game goes, like, the more is on the table, especially for Team Muhan. They cannot be taking bad fights. And we even see Heart of the Tarask onto Centaur now, so he is so tanky. Pipe up inside, Heart of Tarask, Blade Mail, Blink Dagger. I mean, he is such a pain to deal with this part of the game. Once he's found that farm, a lot of tanky heroes on Team Lotem. See an Ogre Club for the Razor, so maybe a BKB follow-up next. Doesn't have one yet. Ian finding more and more farm, coming that semi-carry at this point. And at the same time, we have Tinker. Tinker almost has level 5 Dagon at this point as well. Actually, he does if he decides to buy it. Maybe saving for buyback, no doubt. I mean, I think everyone has to at this point. And we see a BKB being bought for the Enigma finally as well. Very essential for those black holes, maximizing it. Oh, we see Viper Strike on the bell top, but he blinks before the first tick. So getting out just in time. Same time, we see an arrow trying to find something. Doesn't find anything there. Team Wuhan in position. Looks like they want to... Looks like it's time to push at this point. Getting in position, looking for that beautiful black hole. But, I mean, they got to be very, very careful. Enigma in position. And another Viper Strike on the bell top. It hits. And they begin the push. The siege on the tier 2. Everyone getting in position here, except the Razor, who's kind of pushing the bottom lane still. I think he might be TPing in at the last second. If he has a TP. Oh, he's got Boots of Travel, so he can always do that. Constantly pushing Khan, eating an arrow, but I mean, what is the follow-up at this point? I don't think they have one. And here, down goes the Mass Serpent Wards. And they're definitely going to secure it at this point. I don't think there's anything that they can do to stop this. Karn, as well as the Mass Serpent Wards alone. While this is all happening, Zombie is at top, pushing the top lane, as well as Adam is bottom, pushing the bottom lane. Eye of the Storm activated at this point. We do see the Elder Titan rotating down, but I don't know exactly what he's going to be able to do against this. Scaring off the Razor there. So, tier 2 taken down for Team Wuhan while the lanes got pushed up. So, very, very nicely done from Wuhan, finding another objective. Heaven's Halberd for the Elder Titan now. Going to want to be disabling maybe that Dragon Knight, I believe, or the Marauder. I guess even the Razor at this point. There's just so much right-click potential for Team Lotem. Oh, looks like Zombie has been caught out, actually. Viper Strike, slowing him down. Can he actually regain enough speed? Looks like he can, and Khan gives it up. So, Stampede doing a lot of work. Moonlight Shadow activated as well. Looks like they're going to resume that push on bottom. While Zombie kind of gets in position to maybe resume that push up top, but he's got to be so careful. Blinks out. He doesn't want to get caught. Butterfly for Karn, so that's what he's been saving for. Giving him so much more right-click. As well as that evasion is going to help out a lot against this right-clicking from Lotem. Help him survive even more on these fights. Getting more and more tankier. I mean, this game seems like it's going to be going the distance. It already is up to 50 minutes at this point. Very, very passive game. A lot of defensive maneuvering from Wuhan more than anything else. They got into a bad position, so they're like, okay, we're going to drag it out. We got to go to the late game now. We cannot win this early. Tinker had such a horrible start. The only person that really found decent farming was Viper. A lot of bad team fighting as well early on. Put Wuhan behind, but I mean, they aren't far behind now. 25 kills to 21. 2 tower deficit, but easily caught up. If they find the right sort of engagement, the right sort of initiation, they can take down a couple of members of Team Lotem. Oh, but they got to be careful here. Khan, Genie, and Gamja can get caught out. Could trigger a very, very horrible position. Oh, but they catch him out. Zombie in huge trouble here. We even see Mass Serpent Wards go down as well as Viper Strike. He is simply boxed in. We see Adam with the follow-up. Static link on the Khan. Khan is stunned currently, so he's losing all his damage. At the same time, we see Shackle on the EM, and as well as Baltop just right-clicking down everyone. Khan is all that's left, and looks like he's just going to simply get right-clicked down. Oh, but at the same time, Razor went down to the Tinker, so they got something, but it's 4 for 1. They're baiting from the Centaur. And we did see a buyback on the Centaur as well by the looks of things. So, very nice victory again for Lotem. And from here, they can start pushing the issue. They can start pushing that high ground, which they've been waiting for. 69 seconds left on the Viper. They have the Tinker, but I mean, Tinker is good. But March of the Machines can only do so much, especially against 4 members. They don't have the Razor, though. Eye of the Storm, obviously the thing they want more than anything else. Oh, Pro Doak. Very, very dangerous position there. Does not want to get stunned up at that point. And how are they going to follow up is the next question. Karn is back. Karn bought back, so they might just settle with the buyback. We actually saw Satanic being picked up from Dragon Knight as well. So he is getting more and more tanky. A sick right click. Great lifesteal as well. So he's at a point where he just go toe-to-toe with anyone and just win the right clicks. So strong at this point. And I mean, same with Centaur. Sunby has found enough farm to really take him far into the late game here. And I mean, it's going to be up to Muhan to find another good initiation. Roshan almost up again as well. I think it's so hard for Muhan against so many tanky heroes. Razor, Centaur, and Dragon Knight. If you're going to initiate on any of them, it's like, it's potentially just a bait because they're going to survive for so long. Every other member of the team is going to rotate in, TP in. And from there, like, well, we saw the Centaur is probably the least tanky of the three. And he just ate it all. Did not bother him whatsoever. Gave him enough time to do that perfect initiation, that perfect surround onto Muhan. They do scout out the Roshan with the arrow. So Lotem kind of on the defensive there. So they are going to smoke Roshan by the looks of things. And it's going to be up to Muhan. Are they going to actually, are they going to be doing? Oh, looks like they're going to be rotating in. Looking for a kill before they try for anything. Obviously, a bad Roshan fight at this point would spell disaster. I think they pinged out Karn. Karn cannot get picked out, but it looks like he will. It's going to be 1v5 if he goes up that ramp. Oh, he's hanging in the middle there. They're looking for him. You got to be so careful. Both teams positioning. I see an arrow go down. Oh, but I mean, blink in. Art completely shut down. Down goes the Enigma. And I mean, Karn's been caught out as well. Gamja also blinks in. Karn completely caught out at this point. He's surrounded once again. Karn is going down. That's 3 for nothing as well as Mass Serpent Ward. And from there, it's going to be Roshan, and things are looking horrible for Team Muhan. 32-23 now. Roshan's going to be down, and from here, they are finally, just maybe, going to be able to push the high ground. They still have the Tinker on the map, sure. 85 seconds until that Viper comes back. Mirana getting the Aegis as well. Essentially, everyone else is 6 slotted at this point. So no surprise there. Mirana definitely coming into her own. Demon Edge. Perseverance. Diffusal Blade. Mjolnir. She has found a lot of farm. It looks like Lotem kind of just comfortable pushing up every lane at this point. They're like, you know what, we have such an advantage. Let's just hold this advantage. We have the Aegis now. We're going to push every single lane, and while we push every single lane, I'm going to wait for Team Muhan to make another move. Go out on the map. Monkey King bar. On Mirana as well. So much farming has been found for Team Lotem. They've just found so much space for everyone. Even their support Mirana to come into a carry. Things are just looking worse and worse for Team Muhan. And looks like they're finally going to be pushing this high ground. But Martian Machines is there to slow it down. If they find a good arrow, maybe they can initiate, but it doesn't look like it. And from here, they're just going to walk on up. They don't care what's there. They're just going to start right-clicking things down. And Karn going to be back in 1 second. Finally back. Are they going to push back from there? Looks like they are going to do a defensive sort of stampede. And Karn with the Viper Strike onto Sunby. Sunby getting right-clicked down at this point. But is it just a bait? Oh, we see a black hole, but it's only on Sunby, and Arc gets shut down completely. Karn is out of position as well. Is he going to get shut down? We see the Aegis triggered for the Mirana, and Karn is running for his life, but he's getting nightmared at this point as well. And they're right-clicking him. Can he go down? If he goes down, this is going to be horrible. This is definitely going to be Rax. And while this is happening, we see Pro Doak take down the Dragon Knight, which is a huge kill as well. But down goes Karn. And we have a buyback on the Dragon Knight as well. Looks like they want to push this. Dragon Knight buys back, TP's ends. And from here, we do have Mass Serpent Ward's up, but they are just going to ignore them at this point and right-click down the racks. And from here, they can right-click down every single racks. And I think we might even be seeing GG from Muhan at this point. Very, very strong play. Very patient play from both sides. Muhan had to play the defensive side after falling behind in the early game. We even see it's like Gamja getting caught out, and it looks like they want to finish Pro Doak. It's going to make this push a lot easier. Static Link taking everything away, but he gets into the fountain. Just dodges an arrow, but I mean, to what end? Either Storm doing so much damage. Second Raxes go down. There's still 50 seconds left on Gamja, 42 on the Viper as Karn. And from here, I mean, Prodoak in a huge, horrible position now. Hoof Stomp, double edge, shut down. Gamja shut down as well, and I think that's game. They might try and drag it out, but I mean, Muhan shouldn't be depleting too much of their, I guess, energy. They do have another game after this. Arguably against an easier team with Get Out. Bad Boys, sorry. So I don't know if they want to drag it out too much. They did end up taking down the Dragonite, Mirana, and Bane, but they're down 2 racks. 38 to 28. I mean, they do have a Tinker, so I mean, clearing is not a problem. But what can they do from here? I feel like it's just a matter of time. 90 more seconds until the push happens again with the Dragon Knight. They're going to try and make a game of it, though. They're going to stick around. Hopefully I eat my words and they make a comeback, but it's going to be so hard at this point, I think. The late game for Lotem is just so strong with essentially 4 carries. I mean, they can find those money black holes, sure. It can work, but we haven't seen it yet. We've just been seeing the Enigma either get focused down from the start or just completely shut down once that black hole happens, because the spreading for Lotem has just been so good. Looks like Muhan are pushing up the mid lane. Are they actually going to go for a Rax here? Can they actually take a Rax? At the same time, we have Razor down bottom pushing up. Will they actually trade is the next question. They could. We actually see Tinker TP down as well. Everyone getting in. We've got a 5-man push here from Muhan. They have to get a Rax, I feel. Mass Weapon Wards as well, so it's going to be a very, very hard sort of push. Dubu getting caught out by Viper Strike. See Plasma Field taking him out of the Nightmare here. Khan might have enough to right-click him down. Art also taking so much damage here. Oh, and he goes down as well. And from here, they're having a huge fight here. It looks like Adam doing so much right-click. Khan has to get out of here. I don't know if Muhan actually have what it takes to win this fight. We did see a buyback from the Enigma as well. They don't want to give this up. They have to make something work at this point. They almost have the Raxes down too. We see it blinking. Hoof Stomp, double edge. Art goes down. No black hole for him. Karm trying to get out of here, getting right-click down. He goes down. And Mass Serpent Wards get cleaned up for nothing. They get a tier 3, but for what cost? I feel like from here, it's about pushing down that bottom lane. 1 Rax remains for Muhan, and a long wait for Karn, as well as the Enigma for the team Muhan. It's going to be a long wait, and I don't think they actually have enough time. Prodoak doing what he can. See a buyback on the Elder Titan, but I don't know what Elder Titan is actually going to do at this point. See a Stampede. They're looking for something. And I mean, Genie, what can he do at this point? Prodoak as well. Gets Hex. Adam looking for it, and actually we see GG finally from Team Muhan. Very, very well played from Lotem. And I mean, Muhan's hanged in there for as long as possible. So very nicely done. A huge first game for Team Muhan. They have to play next as well against the Bad Boys. Going to be another interesting game for sure. Not looking too happy there.
네, MVP 아식과의 경기에서의 패배의 아쉬움을 만회한 로템의 2번째 경기 승리였습니다. 여러분 끝까지 최선을 다해준 양팀 선수들에게 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 네, 그럼 저는 잠시 후 오늘의 마지막 경기, 방금 전 아쉽게 패배한 무한과 뱃보이즈의 경기로 다시 돌아오겠습니다.
Alright, so after the break, Bet Boys against Team Muhan. Stay tuned.